it's interesting because, again, I think it always comes back to, well, no, my question will be later on today is like, what do you consider working for you? That's the question. Or what's your expectations? Because if the expectations are you're the agent and we haven't signed, that's like, if the agent has just not spoken at all to the team, I think that's more of an indication of the team, like, because the team will talk to you if they want to sign you.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So let's do this.
They don't need the agent to say, okay, we do want to sign.
Right.
Okay.
So let's do this. So if I'm let's say I'm player A and I got drafted, and now it's like, okay, we're in that window to sign.
Yeah.
Okay. If I ask you the question, what should the agent be doing during this time? If you're the agent,
that's a great way to do it.
What should the agent be doing? And then we'll talk about what they wouldn't or shouldn't do.
Okay. So for this particular player, so at this particular time, which I'm positive the agent has been doing, has probably had some contact with the team to find out, hey, how is Eric doing?
So this would be management, GM,
coach,
a scout,
in that level.
someone.
Yeah. So there's discussions going on. Like, what's the development path looking like? Are you guys keeping touch with him? Is he following the groundwork laid out that you've given him? Or how much communication have you had with him? Are we getting close to a contract? Are we getting there? And that's basically all you can do, right? So in that period, it could be, we're going to offer him, like, so because there's not a contract signed right now, it doesn't mean that there's not a contract offered. It could be just not one that you like, or maybe you want a little bit more, or you feel like I'm not going to, maybe they're saying, I don't think he fits that organization, so we don't want to sign, right? That could be a thing that's going on here too. So if that's the case, the agent might be working and you don't really know. Right. Or maybe they've had that conversation, not sure. But as of right now, there's not much you can do except for maybe asking, if you're not going to sign him, can you put him somewhere else? Like, can you move his rights to somewhere else, or can you put him back in the draft? Right. But up until this point, that's one thing. And the next thing would be like, is there another place to play? So the other thing an agent could be looking at is there Russia, Europe, American League, some pro level, or maybe it's a trade in the OHL or something like that. Maybe there's things like that they're looking at that he's not seeing getting done.
Right. Okay.
But there's not a lot you can do, I don't think.
Right. Okay. So let's bring it back again. So I'm going to take player A. Let's say, so player A got this agent, let's say when he was 15 or 16, for argument's sake. So first step was agent helped to whatever degree they can with that OHL contract, making sure that's fine.
Yeah.
Good. Check.
And probably touch base with some teams to see.
Right.
Use the relationship.
Get some information. Where's he at?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay. So that's one thing. That's what the agent should be doing. Not much more than that. The player is going to be where they're going to be going into the OHL draft, more or less.
Okay. So there's a good question. So because that's come up in our situations, right? Like in our people that we deal with. So it's like everyone would love to know what every team is saying about you or where you're ranked and all that kind of stuff. But why, if you're the Boston Bruins, why, if I'm representing a player and I say, hey, where do you see Eric? Well, what are they going to say to you? Yeah. Why would they tell you and not, they keep it inside internally. So why would I tell you that, we think Eric is going to be our third round pick? Well, first of all, they're not going to say that. They might, and they're going to say, beat it, I'm not telling you, or, oh no, we got him on our board, it's great. But what does it mean? Nothing.
Yeah, because it can change nothing. Like that.
It can change nothing, and it could be just like, we like him, but they can't give you information. So if you're asking for your agent to give you information about your player, it's like, what do you want?
There's only so much they can.
Well, yeah, there's the draft hasn't happened. They can't commit.
So even in your case, it was like a range of a ballpark area, and you guys, I was there with you. Like, you guys weren't sure at all, right?
Yeah.
So
it was like in
you
this
had a
area,
ballpark,
and it was in that area,
right? Don't know what team, you don't know who's going to be, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And you had the top tier agent guy. Yeah. So anyway, so summarizing with the path. So yeah, so this player A that we're talking about had that.
Yeah.
Then through the OHL career, maybe there was some phone calls,
1000% there was
whatever,
contact
back
with
and
the
forth.
agent and teams.
And then up to the NHL draft, they're doing the same thing as they did in the OHL draft, gathering information. Maybe what do you see, this, that. Then the kid gets drafted. Now we're at the point where we're at today, where it's like, okay, now we're trying to see where's he at. And again, it's in that information transfer position where he's the third party that's relaying information to the player that he's getting from the team he's been drafted to now. So again, just to summarize what you were saying, it's okay. Is there an offer coming? Where do you guys see him? Is he following the right development path? Have you been keeping an eye on him? Should we be looking at other things? Yada, yada, yada. This is the agent having that discussion and hopefully relaying the information. So what's going to happen is either a contract will come or it's going to be like, okay, we now have to make a plan for next year of what's going to happen for next year. Try again after that. Because I think what's the window? So if you're drafted by an NHL team, it's same. So you get 2 years
From junior.
Yeah.
From junior.
So if they don't sign you, then we're moving on. So they still have some time.
And the kid could say, I'm not signing.
Yeah, right.
So maybe that's what's going on
For
too.
sure. So that's kind of where it's at. What the agent, let's talk about what the agent can't do. Okay, so what the agent now can't do is really impact the situation to any serious degree. So they can kind of negotiate for things on the margins, but the bulk of what is being offered or the bulk of where the kid fits or the bulk of what the team thinks is going to be what it is. So if they say around the edges, okay, here's your contract, and the agent says, we want like a little bit more of X, a little less of Y, then maybe it's a yes or no. But like the frame is the frame, you know?
The frame is the frame, yeah. I'll let you finish.
So if there isn't an agreement, this is why people move on with life and do something else, right? He'll go try to play somewhere else, find a different league, get traded, go to a different camp, go to whatever. That is basically the gist. What I feel, before you go on, what I feel the expectation can be on the agent is like impact the situation to get me exactly what I want, or you're not doing a good job. Is that like fair to say?
I would say that's very often.
Okay, so that's kind of a summary of what's going on.
You expect your agent to do hockey stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, just to go back to the contract thing, where a super agent, like the big names, when they have like really high-end players, where this may be a detriment to not have a big name, powerful name, would be, so if you're like, let's say the best agent, and we're taking this player A, and he's with the best agency, a little tactic could be like, okay, so McDavid's coming up or whatever, name a big name that he represents is coming up next year. So if you're not signing him, then maybe we're going to look somewhere else. Yeah. So there's a little leverage there.
Like
but
they could leverage another player
at the end of the stand. But those guys are pretty reasonable too, that they're not going to look at whatever team and say, well, if you don't sign him, we're like, they understand that they say, no, it's just not what we want right now. We thought we had it, or he's not worth that type of money. So the agents are pretty realistic at that point.
Yeah. Okay.